So Richard, I wanted to also change gears and talk to you a little bit about something we spoke about before the show this morning, and you mentioned that flood insurance is going to go through some pretty significant changes for homeowners with some new legislation.
Yeah, last year when they reauthorized the National Flood Insurance Program, they included in that authorization a little-known thing called the Biggert-Waters National Flood Insurance Reform Act of 2012. And there wasn't a lot of fanfare, discussed about this Reform Act that they were going to throw in with the reauthorization. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even hear about it until last week, until we started getting emails going, hey, don't forget, the Reform Act is going to start kicking in, and we've got these new changes coming up. And basically, the bottom line is that flood insurance is going to start getting more expensive for a lot of people. Something that a lot of people don't know about flood insurance is that what you're paying when you buy flood insurance is not an actuarial rate. And what that means is that there's this long formula that people use to determine if we have a risk, whether it's a house, whether it's a teenager driving a car, whether it's a business. Okay, we plug this risk into this big formula, and it tells us how much we should be charging in order for it to be worth our while to insure this risk. Well, that's not what you're paying when you buy flood insurance, because the federal government subsidizes what your risk is. So if you have a house and it's on Clearwater Beach and you should be paying, and I'm just throwing out a random number, and you should be paying $5,000 for flood insurance, well, the federal government kicks in a good portion of that, so that it winds up that you only pay $1,500 for flood insurance, or $2,000 for flood insurance, even though you should be paying $5,000 according to these formulas. Well, they're going to start eliminating some of these subsidies, and it's going to be a slow process over time.
But eventually that's going to lead to the consumer paying. And I can understand why, with the fiscal cliff and the budgeting and all the challenges that are going on with Wall Street and money right now.
Right, exactly.
It's understandable why, but it's something people need to be aware of that they're looking at waterfront property.
Right, exactly. Now, the National Flood Insurance owes the federal government $20 billion that they haven't been able to pay back. So the federal government, with all the things going on in Washington, they're looking at this going, hey, we need to start,
getting some of this money back.
Getting some of this money back, so we got to start doing some things and got to start getting back to normal rates instead of just always dumping money and not fixing the problem.
Right. That would be awesome if they started focusing on fixing problems.
Well, that would be a new thing in Washington, I